Hello again, everybody. This is Amorgin, and you're very welcome back to another Founder Server Shenanigans video where I catch up with Billy on the Founder Server for a wee chat. It's been a while since we had Billy in to talk about what's going on in the Founder Server and getting another perspective. Since this, things have degenerated on the Founder Server. We're back to war. We'll bring you more on that in a future video as things progress. But right now, we're going to catch up with Billy and get his thoughts and feelings on recent events and how things have been going. How are you keeping, Billy?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad now. Billy, we were talking a little while earlier, and we says we do this little bit of a video to talk about some of the stuff that's going on the Founder Server. We had, for you last night, for me earlier today, we had a bit of an exciting kind of PvP event that we created by accident almost on the Founder Server, and everybody seemed to enjoy it, and we'll come to that in a wee moment, and the idea of Armadas and stuff like that there. But when we were talking earlier, we were talking about the idea of server transfers. We were talking about the fallen player population on the Founder Server, people leaving, and the idea that we have seen some kind of low-level, newish kind of accounts coming onto the server, and suspecting that they might be people's alts, or are they returning players and stuff like that. Any thoughts on any part of that?
Okay, very loaded question there, but okay, we'll start from the top. Server mergers or transfers, bring it on. You know, a lot of whales are out there. They want to take us on. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Also with the server transfers, I think, you know, some people may leave the Founder Server, but a lot of people will come in. I really hope they do, because at the moment the server is pretty well boring. You know, well, the game is boring,
Except for last night and the event we created.
Well, yeah, the problem is we had to create that event. Well, we didn't really create it. It was like Gettysburg. It started off with two people shooting off, two groups shooting off, and it grew to be massive. And that's the best fun I've had in ages. We really need to get rewarded for.
Yeah, just for the people that don't know what we're talking about, the last video I done on the Battle of Endor, Vendor being in Romulan space, check it out, guys, and you'll know what Billy's talking about there. We've had a couple of players leave, Billy. One of the old originals of HOM, Hughes. I'd love to get Hughes into a video at some point to talk to him about his Star Trek Fleet Command journey before we lose him. People like that leaving, there's been a drop off in players and stuff, but we're also seeing a rise in the number of low level accounts. What do you make of that stuff?
Yeah, the low level accounts, you know, I might be paranoid, but I just think alt straight away. You know, they're alts, but hopefully they're not. Hopefully Scopely is. Hopefully Scopely, that sounds funny, but yeah, hopefully Scopely are feeding, you know, new blood into us. But I think that not all of them are alts. You know, I think some of them may be actually people that originally joined the game back in November or whenever, and they went, don't really like the game, and they've come back.
It's always a possibility. When we were talking about this previously, I suppose it was both of our feeling that if it is the case that some people are returning players, that it's a small enough number. There's always that risk of alts being out there, I guess. I just want to jump back to the idea of server transfers there and ask you about. Do you think it's going to like? Do you think there's going to be a big queue of people? You said there's a few whales maybe would want to take us on and things like that. Do you think there'll be a big queue of people like looking to join us? Do you think it would even be allowed?
With all our shenanigans and all that kind of stuff, I think it might scare some people away. But
Personally, I feel it would be very disappointing if there was any kind of exodus from our server. We've been together for that long, friends and enemies and all of that there. I personally would be disappointed in if a load of people left. I'd hate to see, for example, with all with all of the bitterness that has existed in the different rows and the finger pointing and accusations that happen between, say, ourselves and ROG or whatever it is, I would hate to see ROG go on to a different server. I would hate to see HOM on one server and ROG on a different server. It's not to say I wouldn't be able to enjoy new company and new dynamics and all of that. I would hate to see them go elsewhere, or us go elsewhere for that matter. You know, I think today or last night for you reminded us that we've had a lot of fun in this game, battling each other, and with can being created and things like that. I don't really care if they're ROG or not, or any. This is us adapting to a new dynamic, and it's preventing the server from going entirely stale. So I welcome all them sort of changes. I don't really care about that. Have you any feelings on that in terms of I suppose, the unity,
yeah,
the brotherhood that kind of is there, even though we don't all get on necessarily?
yeah, the Brotherhood, and you know, I love to hate ROG. Basically,
Yeah.
yeah. Everyone needs an enemy, and I love the rivalry. No, it's great. But in the end, I would I would sit down and have a beer with all of ROG, exchange a few laughs, and then smash the glass and probably glass them. But I'm joking.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a game. I could have very easily been, you know, uh, in ROG.
Of course, yeah.
It just, Scotty Ace went, hey, how about you join Sword? And then I, paid my dues in Sword and
And here,
negotiated with Econ
yeah,
to join Home.
and here you are now.
To merge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just I suppose on that, Billy, one of the reasons I like talking to you anyway, one of the reasons why I like getting you in here to talk to everybody else is some people have said you're very well connected in the game. I suppose meaning that you talk to a lot of people. You're a very social, chatty sort of guy. You reach out to a lot of people. Sometimes when there's rows on Galaxy Chat. Now I suppose you don't get on with everybody, and not everybody gets on with you, and all of that as well. But you talk to a lot of the people that can be difficult to reach, and some of them talk back to you. So I suppose around the idea of you've been in a few alliances. I haven't. I've only ever been in HOM. It's all I've ever known. But you've been around and you've met different people and mixed with them. You've got communication skills, and you said to me one time that you always brought in the human element. Something we've talked about an awful lot is that we've all got our own human story, and something we've covered in a few videos around addictions and different problems that people might have. What's your take on that, or what's your motivation for all of that?
Okay, well, I'm not afraid to, do a PM or DM, whatever you want to call it, to chat to people. A lot of people put up a front, especially in game. I like to actually go beyond that and just look at, just have a bit of a conversation. It's like, why are you doing this? Exactly.
Yeah.
Basically, that's the question. Why are you being a dick?
It's got to bring a certain amount of negative attention to you as well when I suppose you make all of these contacts. Not all of them are going to be positive. We'll say they're not going to always result in a positive outcome. We'll say some people are just generally negative. Some people they'll shoot the messenger. How successful do you find yourself when you're reaching out to the people that become a little bit detached from the larger group, what the rest of the server are kind of doing, and thinking that these people detach themselves and they're just not on the same page? You reach out to them people. How do you find that is at the moment?
Probably about 75% will contact me back. Sometimes people just go F you, but I don't really care. I just like water off a duck's back. Don't really care.
You're almost like the chaplain. You're almost like the priest. Like, I'd suggest you're more of an old Friar Tuck type character. But you'd be fond of the wine and the women, but you'll still wear the robes. Would I be right?
There's nothing religious about me. But actually, there is. But anyway, good analogy.
Okay. Maybe there's a name change in the works somewhere along the line for a wee while. We'll come on to the final bit, Billy. We've been at this for a couple of minutes now, and I want to move on to your thoughts on Armadas and how it's worked for us in recent times. What's your thoughts on the PvP end of it and all of that?
Okay, well, Armadas has been a letdown. Okay, yeah, it's fun to join up and do an Armada, but the amount of people that are sniping, positions in Armadas is really annoying, and I think I I said that in GC AC the other day. Looking at you, you know who you are.
It's probably gone on a little bit on both sides, has it not, though?
It has, and
if you didn't have that, I don't even know how the Battle of Endor started, right? But it doesn't matter to me, because it was fun. Somebody caused that, and there was a reaction. It was almost like a chain reaction. I think you equated it to the Battle of Gettysburg. Started off small and just grew into something huge. And it was the best fun that some of us had in a while, and that was because somebody probably was laying in wait and sniped somebody's Armada.
It was the Battle of Gettysburg. If people should research how it actually started, but it started off with just two platoons basically shooting at each other, and it turned out to be the biggest battle in American history, kind of thing. But I don't know how the Battle of Vendor started, but I got in there and I lost a lot of ships, but I didn't care. I don't care. It was fun. The best fun I had in months on this game. So if we can actually get Scopely to reward us in some way, that would be great.
A timed event for that would suit me down to the ground. If it was if it was regular enough and timed, maybe different time zones as well. Allowing for differences there. But I'd love to be able to sit down and record preparing for it. It kind of landed on top of me when I was recording that, and I was doing it on the phone while I was on the go. It would be nice to know it's starting in 3 hours, and I can go and get something to eat and get set up. It certainly would make life easier for the content creators, I would say that, but in terms of being able to cover stuff on your servers and what's going on. But listen, I'll come back to that kind of stuff at another time. How do you feel about the idea, though, that on the one hand we want to maybe introduce a rule where there's no sniping allowed, and then on the other hand it's down to the like of sniping that created one of the most enjoyable episodes of the game in recent times?
Well, there was a rule that don't people's Armadas, and I'm not sure who hit who first, but hell, it was fun. I did lose a lot, but I had fun. When I get in the mood, when I get in the mood in the game, like, I don't care how many resources I lose or repair costs or whatever.
Yeah.
I just go to town.
Yeah.
Do my best.
That's when you know. That's when you know you're having fun. Is when you stop looking at the resources and you don't care, and it's all in. Good stuff. Yeah. Any other thoughts, just Billy, on any part of that before we start to wrap it up?
Scopely, step up, make life interesting, and also, Rog, you suck. That's it.
There we go.
Hilts, I'm looking for you.
I'm sure he'll find you easy enough as well. So, right, we're gonna wrap it up at that, Billy. I think, as always, we're asking people to come and contribute and leave their comments below, and hit the like and subscribe and all of that kind of stuff. Hit the wee bell, that kind of thing. Come in the Discord, guys, and talk to Billy directly. Talk to myself directly, and we'll discuss all of the founder server stuff with you on another platform if you wish, if that suits you better. And until the next video, take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and we'll chat to you all again soon. Cheers.